Hello there and welcome to Complete Games. I'm James and this is the Explorer Note read-through for Mei-Yin on Extinction, and we continue in part 2. So if you haven't already seen part 1, I'll leave a link in the top right hand corner. But when we left Mei-Yin, she'd broken her arm, taming what we believe is a pack of Mega Namara, one of the exclusive creatures to Extinction that can traverse the map extremely quickly and freeze its foes in place. She's pretty much the last man standing, and at the moment she's escorting Helena to what she believes is a tomb that might save her. So sit back, relax and enjoy the final notes from Mei-Yin Lee on Extinction. My arm is nearly healed. I can control the armoured giant without pain, and it no longer protests when I use it to carry weight or strike. The timing could not be better, for I have just brought more beasts into the fold. Great owls with feathers as white as the snow they soar over swooped down at me from on high, but I avoided their talons and brought them down. Now their great vision helps me scout ahead with ease. With my pack growing in number and my strength returning, it's time to set out. Keep fighting for just a while longer, Helena. I will see you to that tomb. I swear it. As we travel, I continue to bring more beasts to my side. Amongst the overgrown palaces, I tame lizards that fire thorns like arrows, floating caterpillars that carry my supplies with ease, and a dozen more. They do not have the same bond or discipline as my first pack, but their strength is formidable. Combined, they are a force to be reckoned with. Marching in the shadow of my armoured giant and ready to fight any of the monsters who would stand in my way. It's time that I remind this world just who I am. I shall etch it into the earth as I march towards the tomb, so that it may never forget. I'm still the Beast Queen, and I shall not be denied. According to the maps, we are nearing the tomb's location. I have made short work of the monsters and disfigured beasts that have stood in our way, and the path ahead seems clear. However, something looms behind us, growing ever closer. It's another horde, and while it lacks the monstrous demon that attacked us before, there are other, lesser devils in this place. Though smaller than their master, they are still far larger than any normal beast, and their might will be considerable. Fortunately, my pack is outpacing them. We should arrive at the tomb well ahead of the horde, and if I can heal Helena quickly, we may be able to avoid it altogether. It did not take long to find the entrance to the cave, and when we reached it, Helena stirred. Though she did not awake completely, I could hear her speaking to me. The Tomb of Ascension. Find the altar. There is no time to waste. I have left most of my beasts to guard the entrance while I bring my trusted few to clear the cave. There are pockets of malformed creatures here, and before I can see to Helena, I will need to rid the tomb of these unnatural beasts and their poisoned blood. This close to my goal, there is an extra drop of fury flowing through my veins, and any enemies that block my path today will quickly be torn asunder. The last of the feral beasts have been wiped out, and I found my way into the cavern's heart. It seems far too beautiful for a tomb, even an emperor's. Surely the name carries some different meaning. Crystals grow along the walls like flowers, sprouting from veins of gold. They bathe the room in a gentle glow, but in the centre of the chamber, they are overpowered by a light from above that shines down on an ornate dais. Atop the altar, there is a device of some kind. It reminds me of the beds that Diana's people used, but grander in scale and artistry. That must be where I'm meant to place Helena, and once I do, that machine will heal her. It has to. It's not working. I'm certain of it. When I placed Helena upon the centre of the altar and stepped away, the machine hummed and sang in response. The light of the crystals burned brighter as well, and the once stale cabin air became warm and soothing. Helena immediately improved. She has stopped sweating and her breathing is stable. Blinking golden sparks float about her like fireflies while she sleeps. As peaceful as I have seen her, the whole chamber has that effect. Even as I watch over her, I can feel my heart slow to a steady, serene beat. Unfortunately, the process is gradual, and with each moment that passing horde grows nearer, I need to buy time. I have sealed the chamber and left a pair of my beasts to guard it, just in case any of the smaller monsters slip past me. It will take time to open it again, but after this battle, I will be afforded some patience. I have assembled the rest of my beasts in an armoured giant in defence formation beyond the entrance to the cave. In the distance, I can see the horde approaching. They outnumber my pack, and it will not be long before they are upon us. On this ground, I will make my stand, with neither retreat nor mercy in my heart. In the end, Every last one of these monsters will lie dead, or I will. Let them come. We'll be ready. Right, Diana? I've beaten back the first wave, but not without cost. Though my own beasts fight with more ferocity than those untamed monsters, my ranks have begun to thin, and the towering demons have yet to enter the fray. That has made it easier for me to tear through these lesser creatures with my armoured giant, but their patience makes me wary. Beneath me, I can feel something stirring from the tomb. The machine is continuing to work. If I can just hold the horde off a while longer, Helena will awaken and we can leave this place. But first, I must hold. Again and again the monsters come. It seems as though there is no end to their number, but I know that cannot be true. I must keep fighting. Yet as time passes, that grows far more difficult to do. One by one my beasts are falling. I can only rest at times like these. In the gaps between the assaults, my eyelids are heavy, my muscles are sore, and only writing like this keeps my mind from growing hazy. The gigantic demons still stand idle, letting their lessers wear down my forces so they can strike me when I'm at my weakest. Yet they cannot wait forever, for the tomb continues to rumble below. Eventually their patience will run out, and in that moment, this battle will be decided. At last, the time is at hand. The towering demons have begun their stir. Though my beasts lay dead and my armoured giant is damaged, I have slain the last of their minions. It's down to them, and it's down to me, just as it was always meant to end. Come then, I am Mei-Yin of Yi, beast queen of the jungle, the depths and the wastes. If you dare challenge me, then come let us duel to the death. I am victorious, though my armoured giant groans and sparks, and though blood stains my lips and drips down my armour, I am victorious. It was a long, grueling battle. I had no advantage in power, so I goaded my immense foes into striking, and then counter-attacked them at their joints. Once I had slowed their movements even further, I picked at their weakest points, wearing them down before finally going in for the kill. However, it was far from easy, and there were moments where I was nearly cornered, but in the end, the giant demons lie dead while I'm still standing. Now, as soon as I have the strength not only to stand but move, I should see to Helena. I arrived in the tomb to a chorus of light. The machines and the crystals pulsed with a heavenly rhythm, and hundreds of those golden fireflies danced about Helena to the same melody. Her body itself glowed like the sun, floating untethered above the altar. I was so in awe that when the whole chamber flashed and Helena's flesh turned to light, I could only watch. It was not until Helena's radiance floated skyward that I could find my voice and call out to her by name. By then the light in the crystals had begun to dim, and there was no trace of her left. Somehow, I know that this is the end she was seeking, and that wherever her soul may be, it is safe and content. Yet I cannot help but mourn. For now, I am left alone. I am certain that I succeeded, yet my hands and my heart are empty. For the first time in so long, I am devoid of purpose. There is nothing to fight or run from. Is this what peace feels like? When I exited the cave, I simply entered my armoured giant and left. I did not have a destination in mind, just some faint instinct that perhaps I should go this way. So here I wander, alone and in a land of poison and empty palaces, to no end but the one I choose. It's unfortunate. The sky is so clear today. It would have been the perfect time to fulfill the promise around my neck. My armoured giant has stopped moving, and I do not know how to fix it. I suppose I am fortunate that it lasted as long as it did. Had it given out before we reached the tomb, I may not have been able to protect Helena. If I want to carry on without it, I will need to get to work soon. I am low on supplies, and when one is surviving on their own, there's always much to be done. Food, shelter, safety. Maybe I will even find time to clean the blood from my face. Yet for now, all I truly want to do is sleep. Perhaps I will dream of flying. I awoke to the sound of earth-shaking footsteps. A towering demon was upon me, and though I struggled against its minions on foot, my situation was desperate. Suddenly, an armoured giant crashed to the earth. It struck down the demon, scattered its beasts and knelt before me. From within stepped a woman with hair the colour of sunset, or perhaps more aptly, a tangerine. My juicy, my love, Diana. For a moment, I thought I was dead or dreaming, but she felt too real to deny. I left her lips smeared with tears and blood, but she wouldn't let me apologise. It's just as well I was not that sorry. I do not know how or why this is possible, but neither do I care. All I know is that I'm going to hold on to this feeling and never let go. Never again. So that concludes the note read through from Mei-Yin on Extinction, and I'm sure there's going to be a few comments down below about Diana dying to Rockwell on Aberration. Of course, all of these questions and more will be answered in the next episode of the Explorer Notes, because Diana, of course, is a survivor. So we will find out how she came to be on Extinction in the next episode of the Explorer Notes. If you're new here and you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more ARK survival content from myself. But until next time, I'm James from Complete Games, and I'll see ya.
The world was on fire and no one could save me but you. It's strange what desire will make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you, and I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like